Welcome back. Copa America is finally here. United States starts it off with a big 2-0 win over Bolivia. Let's get right into it.
Exactly as Trevin says, 2-0 for the USND over Bolivia. A beautiful performance. It was, it was expected, to say the least.
I would say it was expected for sure. I mean, definitely a heavy favorite over Bolivia going into the game. I mean, some of the betting lines were a little skewed, so it was like, what's the point? I bet $20 and I win $4. Like, it's obvious huge favorites not only in that, but as you look at the lineups, you can tell huge discrepancies.
Yeah, Bolivia, honestly, don't think I really recognized any of the players, to be honest. I'm sure a lot of them play in Bolivia or countries near Bolivia, places like that. The USND, though, we obviously know Big Matt Turner.
The world.
Oh, yeah, Big Matt Turner in goal. Okay game, didn't have a lot to do really at all. Scally at right back, again, didn't really have a lot to do. Ream and Richards, though, those guys played all right defensively, had some headers to clear maybe
Not
here
much
and there.
To do, really.
Exactly. Some passes, though, one or two each of them that I thought were a little sus, that a better team could have capitalized 100%. For sure. But because it's Bolivia, it doesn't really matter. Robinson, again, amazing, as always. Fulham's best player of the season.
Deserved.
That.
United States player of the season. I mean, the dude just shows up. I mean, he's consistently one of the better right backs in
left
back, excuse me. In every competition he plays in. I mean, obviously he wins Fulham's player of the year. But in the Premier League, I would say he is a legitimate top 3 left back. In the national team, he's obviously our number 1. But in CONCACAF, the number 2 left back, probably just behind Davies. This guy's just different gravy. He's so good.
Midfield, Adams coming back in for a start after injury. He played all right. Again, didn't really have a lot to do in midfield. The midfield
Got
overall,
some minutes, though.
The minutes is the most important thing for Tyler Adams right now. Overall, the midfield as a whole really didn't feel like it had a whole lot to do again as well. This Bolivia side was just really weak overall, you could tell. Reyna, good game, found some passes, a lot more of a defensive role for him.
Yeah, he definitely had quite a bit more work to do, especially in the position that he's in now, and doing pretty well. I mean, he had a good game. He had a workhorse game. He definitely helped on the defensive end and contributed going forward 100%.
Yeah, McKinney played all right. Not really too much from him. Weah played good, had some good crosses, had some good opportunities. I wanted a little bit more from him, though.
Opportunities, man.
Wanted a little bit more from him. We'll get into his opportunities later on. Balogun at striker. Had something to prove. Gets a goal. Overall, his game, we'll get into it. Liverpool, don't know why I just said that. Pulisic, left wing, as always, Captain America, showing out for his country. Banging goal. Assist for Balogun. A world-class player in the American eyes. I don't think he's world-class. But, we're not going to be like the other American pundits who are fucking stupid. From the jump, USND are on it, attacking. From minute 1 to 90, it seemed like we were attacking. We were just the better team. But from minute 1, we were on that. Like crazy.
We came out the gates ready to play. I mean, Greg, to his credit, we trash on him as much as we can, but to his credit at this point, he got the team ready for this game. They came out swinging. They came out ready to play, and that's exactly what we wanted to see. We both thought Bolivia could give us some hiccups and do a decent job in this group that really is lopsided with Uruguay. I mean, they could have done more, 100%, but the United States didn't give them a chance.
They did nothing. Absolutely nothing. And Greg Berhalter, we can give him credit. Maybe he did get the team right. But this Bolivian team was so bad that, even historically, they've been one of the worst. We could have been
the managers.
Yeah. Historically, they've been one of the worst South American teams. They showed it here again tonight. And right from the jump, like I said, Christian Pulisic off of a corner, which after this corner goal, Bolivia did not line up like that on corners again and let them do the 1-2 pass from Way to Pulisic. They didn't allow it to happen because Pulisic gets that 1-2 pass, steps right inside the penalty area. Bang.
Perfect shot, perfect goal. I mean, everything that you could ask for a start. I mean,
yes.
Pulisic especially, you want to see him shining. You know, he's not the world-class player that a lot of people in the United States thinks he is, but at the same time, he is a very, very good player on his day, and we need him to be that, you know, Captain America for us in this tournament, because that's the only way we're going to have a chance. And he really showed up, especially with that first goal. Just a wonderful shot. Just right over the goalie. The goalie gets a small fingertip on it.
Yeah.
No dice. Doesn't matter. You weren't saving it. 1-0.
Reyna, as we said, lining up in the left center mid position. He really was coming back, covering for Robinson a lot too. He was playing all over the pitch in midfield. Like, he really had a shift to do. You could tell.
In a lot of places.
Yeah, you could tell this guy on the ball getting fouled a whole bunch the first half. I mean, he could have gotten 2 or 3 players a yellow card. I think he only got one. He drew a foul and got 1 player a yellow card, but he definitely had 3 or 4 fouls within the space of about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And you could tell USA, they were not having it. Mm-hmm. After that, the 3rd or 4th foul, I believe, it was a yellow card. USA weren't having that.
No, they definitely, and it wasn't warranted, or it was definitely warranted. Like, the foul wasn't warranted. But what the United, you know, them coming in to his defense is absolutely needed. And it just shows some of the fighting spirit that this team has. And like I said, unfortunately, we got to give Greg the credit. He had the team ready to go and ready to fight whenever they needed to. Late in the first half, dying minutes, we finally get that second that we really deserved, needed, expected. You know, Balogun comes through. Great pass from Pulisic. Just, you know, like we said, great performance so far through the first half. Balogun does exactly what he needs to do. Really, really good finish on his left, putting it in that far right corner, and it's just great goal from him.
Yeah,
good to see.
He needs that, man. He really does. His confidence is pretty low. You could tell with some of the things he was doing before that and after even, you know.
Yeah.
He seems like a guy who needed that goal. He needs some confidence because I just don't see him, you know, as the same player as he was 2 seasons ago, you know what I mean? When he had a 20-goal-plus season in France, you know. Say what you want about the team he was on, but 20-plus goals in a top 5 league is 20-plus goals in a top 5 league.
It speaks for itself.
Exactly. So, seeing where he's at now, you can see he needs some confidence. He needed that goal. It was a great goal. Overall, though, he had a decent performance. Like I said, there were moments where I expected more from him.
He could have had 2.
Yeah.
He really could. He could have had 2. Multiple chances. I mean, he had a decent game, but he didn't have the game that you really wanted in terms of overall performance. He got his goal, and it was really well taken.
Yeah.
Really good finish. Like, does exactly what you want him
Insanely
to do
good
in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
But all around performance was just an okay game from him, I think. And I don't think he really stamped once again, okay, Pepi, you gotta just, you know, sit your ass on the bench again. You know, we know what's happening. We know but now there's confusion now.
Yeah. Second half, again, USA coming out swinging, just as the first half. Throwing shots in left and right. I mean, the Bolivian goalkeeper had a lot to do.
He had a really good game. I mean, you let 2 in, it's probably not going to be a great game, but at the same time, he had a really good saves. Like, he had quite a few opportunities that should have went in, and then had one opportunity where he had to make 2 saves. He had a spectacular performance of a lifetime, and it should have probably been 4-0.
Yeah, we should have scored at least 4 or 5 times, to be honest. I think we had 4 or 5 really, and not even Balogun's chance wasn't even that good of a chance compared to some of the other chances we had, especially in the second half. I mean, this was an opportunity. It's the 60th minute. Ricardo Pepi comes on, right? This Bolivian team, you still have pretty much all the starters on. Yeah. I mean,
you come
except
on fresh
Adams.
legs.
Adams comes off second half. Good thing he got those minutes. Musa comes on. The guy you want to go in.
comes off. Good 60 minutes for him. Solid performance.
It's pretty much a starting 11 for the United States, and Pepi comes on, all right? This is a good opportunity for you to maybe get some goals, just show something.
He comes on, and he could have done so much for the team in terms of being something different to Balogun. They're not the same type of player. And you want him to show those different qualities to make Greg think, maybe he should be starting next game. Obviously, Balogun gets his goal, does what he needs to, but he doesn't do quite enough. And Pepi could have taken that shot and said, okay, here's a hat trick on Bolivia's head in 30 minutes. He really could have done that. He had every opportunity to do it, and he couldn't do it.
Even him not getting the hat trick, which he most definitely had an opportunity pretty much to get a hat trick. You could say second half, you would think maybe USA are going to take their foot off the gas a bit. No.
Nope.
We were still going, still trying to score. You could see us getting opportunities. Pepi with maybe 4 or 5 opportunities, but 2 or 3 really solid chances that I felt that on a better day, he could have got 1 or 2 of those 3 really solid chances. You know what I mean? So it was like maybe he didn't expect to get the chances he did get, but he had the chances. He had the opportunities. I felt he had better opportunities in the second half than Balogun did in the first half to score. But Balogun does get the goal. It doesn't really help him in his situation, Pepi, because you see an opportunity against a Bolivian team. Yes, you're down 2-0. But USA, we're still going. We're still pushing for that. Pepi has these opportunities where he could have honestly made an argument at least for him to start for this Panama game. But again, he comes off the bench and it just felt like he underperformed and he didn't take those opportunities.
It feels like that gap between him and Balogun is just slowly starting to grow larger and larger. Balogun, if he really had some good performances in the last, 6 months, he could have been far and away ahead of him for the number 1. But it's tighter than it should be, but it's slowly getting bigger because they don't play well enough when they get the opportunities, but Balogun does find the goals.
USA, though, a 2-0 win over Bolivia, fully expected. Should have had more goals, to be honest. Should have had much more goals. It should have been 4 or 5-0. Pulisic with some chances second half. Overall, good game, though. Man of the match, the Captain America, as per usual.
Yes, sir.
He's going to lead us on against Panama. I don't really see the USA changing really anything for that game. I don't. I do think Adams. There's a chance he might not start because I think he picked up not an injury again, but there was a precaution. He did come off at the end of the half, and I've heard ESPN FC exclusive that they said that there's a chance that there's something wrong. Nothing's for sure yet, though.
You definitely don't want to push it, though. Panama, you definitely don't want to count your chickens before they hatch.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Panama's not as strong of an opponent as Uruguay is, so you kind of don't want to force the issue to save him. But you don't want to lose to Panama, so we'll see what happens.
Also, if you feel, you can just rest him one game, and if that's all it's going to take for him to be back to, at least what
or
is
give him
match
30
fit.
minutes.
Yeah, so I think, Musa filling in is not a bad alternative. It's completely fine. Throw Musa in. I would be just fine with that. Musa, McKinney, Reyna, midfield. I would love it. Hopefully no big changes against Panama. Maybe Musa in for Adams. Other than that, don't see anything really happening. 2-0 over Bolivia. Big game against Panama. Game 2. And then Uruguay after. You'll be back for both of them. Come see us. You love it. We love it. We love you. See you later.
What are you fucking